You'll have to educate me, Skids, because I know nothing much about Angel Witch. Tell me how you came to be and where you've come from.
I joined the band about 3 years ago. It was already going then. The band itself, in various forms, has been going for about 4.5 years. Kev Hayborn, lead guitarist and lead vocalist, was the founder member. Sort of went on from there, from sort of like pubs and clubs and doing that sort of thing.
This is in the south-east part of London, the Elephant and Castle,
Yeah.
Lambeth sort of area.
Yeah.
You got together 3.5 years ago. You're here now in the studio. You've got an album and a single coming out soon. I mean, why is it taking you so long? Is it something to do with the fact that you outwardly seem to espouse, is that the right word? Sort of black magic type thing, which is running with a lot of heavy bands like Sabbath and others.
Yeah, I don't think so. The black magic, the superstition type of thing, it's just one of those things that you can write about, and we did. But again, I think we've moved on from that now. We're writing about more general things.
You must be one of the few bands with a track actually named after yourself. I mean, on your album, which is called Angel Witch, after yourself, the first track is Angel Witch.
It's our most popular live number. You know, it's an audience participation thing, you know.
And the other one on side one, which I noticed is played in a lot of heavy clubs, is Confused, which is also on side one.
Well, that was originally written as the first single, but Angel Witch had come out so well, we thought, go and do that one, you know. Confused is a good track. It's a good boppy track, you know. And sort of pogo around to it and sort of hit doors with your head and things. So it's great.
How did you manage to land Bronze Records? Because there are a lot of very good groups with them.
I really don't know. They were just one of the companies that we approached and said, you know, would you like to come and see us? And they were one of the few companies that actually gave us any sort of positive reaction at all. I think we surprised them, actually, because when we did the album, I think they were expecting an ever so slightly more melodic Motorhead from us, and they didn't get it. And I think they were pleasantly surprised, you know, the way the album came out.
I noticed on the album sleeve it says that the microphones and speakers are supplied by a company which I won't name. But one of the problems, I think, of a new group, and this must interest a lot of people who listen who want to form groups, is get the right sort of equipment, because equipment is very expensive. And if you get somebody to sponsor you, as it were, so you have their name on, you know, their equipment on stage, I mean, how did you manage to land that so early?
That was basically through a friend of ours who works as our sound engineer. And he had the contacts there already when he came to us. That sort of thing was very lucky. It's not the sort of thing that anybody can go out and do. A general rule of thumb is when you need the gear, when you're starting an unknown, nobody gives it to you. When you're well known and stinking rich, then you're wading through free gear. It's all the wrong way around.
I mentioned a couple of tracks on side one. We played Angel Witch and I talked about Confused. The other tracks, Sorcerers and White Witch and Atlantis, suggest this kind of black magic type trip. On side two, you've got some Sweet Danger and Free Man. Any particular things about those?
Sweet Danger was the first single that we did after appearing on the Metal from Others album. Free Man is about the only slow one we do. But again, that shows the sort of diversity of the writing, because that's about a guy who comes out of prison and his sort of first reactions of walking out the gates of Wandsworth. So it's not all black magic.
So you meant he's going to say no buses, but that's a common feel to anybody, I would have thought. Which track represents you best of all, do you think?
Angel of Death, yeah, Angel of Death. That's sort of about the most hooligan thing we've done.
I want to bring in the new member of the band, because on the album it says Dave Vogue, drums and percussion. But the Dave with us today is no longer the Dave of yesteryear, is it?
That's right.
Tell me something about yourself, anyway.
Well, I was in a band called the EF Band from Sweden, and about 2 years ago, Angel Witch and the EF Band ended up on the Metal for Mothers album, Metal for Mothers 1. And I just kept in touch with the band, and plus the fact that my sister's the drummer with Girls' School. And Angel Witch did a succession of gigs with Girls' School, so there was like a little circle of tie-ups.
When I talked to Denise about her drum work and things, I said, you know, what were your influences in your background? She did not mention that she had a brother who was a drummer. So, I mean, did she teach you, or did you teach her?
I didn't really teach her. She used to come and watch me play and that, because I've been playing about 5 years longer than her anyway. And she used to come down, and every time I'd practice and that, she'd sit down at the kit, mess about, and it just sort of went from there, really.
So how do you think she's going? I mean, you know, she even was with Motorhead on that Head Girl thing.
She's going very well. About 200 miles in front of me at the moment.
She can fund you.
Yeah, she's going to become alpaca very shortly, I think.
So, all right, the new album, when's that going to be done?
We don't actually know at the moment. Soon, we hope.
Because this one actually has been out, I think, quite a long time, isn't it?
Came out the beginning of December. Unfortunately, the wrong time as far as releasing albums go, because everybody buys Ling-A-Long-A-Max for their mums for Christmas, and they don't bother investing in something a bit decent.
The single, I mean, tell me about that anyway, because that is something definite which is coming out very soon. Well, now, in fact.
It's a 3-track single. It's like an EP. The main A-side is a track called Loser, which hopefully is going to all make us thinking rich and famous. Probably won't, but there you go. The main B-side is a track called Suffer, and there's an instrumental on it called Dr. Fibes.
So entirely new stuff from the album,
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally different from the album, yeah.
Are you likely to go to Europe, anywhere like that, soon?
Well, there's certainly something coming off later on in the year. That's sort of 90% definite. We're hoping the timing coincides properly as far as doing the second album's concerned as well, before we actually go.
Okay, I'm going to offer you the chance, the amazing, incredible, and not many people get it, the chance of being a DJ. Would you like to introduce your new single?
Yeah, well, this is probably the most commercial thing you'll ever hear from Angel Witch. It's still a bit of a headbanger. This is called Loser.